Good morning, everyone. Today I want to take a minute to update you all on my fat loss journey, because I feel like I've just been like talking about the fact that I'm doing it here and there, but it's been a while since I've actually talked about the process and like where I'm at and how I'm doing and the fact that it is actually working, which is super exciting. So today I'm going to show you what I eat in a day. No idea what that's going to be. It might be super boring, might end up being fun. I have no idea what I plan on eating today. I just know that I want a coffee. But I'm also going to answer like quick fire a lot of your guys' questions that you asked me on Instagram, and I'm gonna give you a little body update in classic Marissa body update dance fashion. We will get to that in a minute. Like I said, I would like a coffee, particularly an iced coffee because it is hot. The caffeine has been consumed. Quick little update on my work situation, on the whole working like 2.5 jobs at once kind of thing. I am finishing up the last days of this music video that I was working on. We're wrapping today, which basically means I'm doing all of this super fun paperwork. Getting to work from home, which is nice. I have not had time to grocery shop or anything, so no idea what I'm gonna eat, but that's okay. Basically, like as of 2 days from now, I'm gonna be able to get like fully back on track with my whole like weight loss plan, with my workouts, with my macros and everything. But for now, I am hungry, so I'm gonna make a smoothie. I feel like it's kind of cheating that I added a smoothie to a smoothie. It's delicious. Now that I have fuel, back to work doing paperwork. I have a brief pause in the massive amounts of paperwork that I'm doing today, so I figured I would take some time to tell you about how my fat loss journey is going. And the short of it is that it's going pretty well, especially considering all of the other factors. I'll start with the most interesting number, which is how much weight I have lost. Between the highest weight that I reached and the lowest weight that I've gotten, I've lost about 7 pounds. But if we just look at the averages of like where I was maintaining before I started my deficit, then the average of kind of like where I've been at the last couple days, I've lost about 3 to 4 pounds. So to give you guys an idea of kind of the timeline of this whole process, to put that into perspective, I started working with Lauren, my nutrition coach, who's amazing. Absolutely recommend that you go follow her. I started working with her like right at the end of February. So basically beginning of March is when I started like new macros with her. And then through the end of May, so basically 3 months, I was on maintenance calories. She took that time to increase my carbs, increase my protein, decrease my fat just a little bit, and let me adapt to that, let my body settle into that, let me get super consistent with my workout routine so that I had like a super strong baseline to start from. It shouldn't have taken 3 months. The only reason it took that long is because I got sick like 3 times in a month. So 1 month of that was kind of not following anything. So basically 2 months of maintenance, 1 month of being sick. Then I began my cut at the beginning of June, which is 2 months ago. Starting then, and for 5 weeks, I was actively in a deficit. But after those 5 weeks, I ended up getting all of these jobs working on music videos, and I stopped tracking, stopped going to the gym consistently, basically have not actively been on my fat loss journey. Very dedicatedly, at least. So this journey started quite a while ago, but I've really only actively been in a calorie deficit for 5 total weeks. And I'm feeling really good. Physically, when I have been in the gym, I am still feeling really strong. When I do manage to get good sleep, I have really good energy. My hormones have been amazing. Look at how clear my face is. No acne whatsoever. No sort of hormonal symptoms at all, which was a big thing for me that I really wanted to prioritize, was not messing up my hormones as I go on this fat loss journey. I'm following kind of an IFYM style of dieting, still like prioritizing my own nutritional values and priorities, but within that, basically just eating to hit my macros. I'm not restricting any foods whatsoever. I'm having dessert most nights. Like, I feel very, very balanced in this. And I feel like overall having these specific goals has given me more purpose. There's just something more fun and exciting about having like a very specific goal that I'm working towards. So overall, this has been a very positive experience for me. So I got a lot of questions from you guys on Instagram about my journey, how I'm approaching it, etc, etc. I want to answer those real quick, but I hear sirens coming and things. I feel like it's gonna get loud out here, so let's go inside if I'm not stuck in the hammock. There we go, we're good. Okay, so I broke your guys' questions down into questions about my goals, questions about my process, and questions about mindset. And honestly, I think mindset's like the biggest one. But I think goals are super important for context. So one of the questions was, what motivated me to start? Basically, I went through a bunch of health issues a couple years ago now. And towards the end of my healing journey, I kind of gained a bunch of fat, like 10 pounds of fat, kind of out of nowhere, but it made sense in the context of the health issues I was experiencing. And so I kind of just wanted to lose those extra 10 pounds of fat that I had gained. And then I actually realized a couple weeks ago that part of me really wants to get back to where I was before I had my health issues, because that will feel like I've truly fully healed, where like I'm back to where I was. There's two other questions. What are your current weight / aesthetic goals you're striving for / what's your end goal? When will you stop losing weight? Here's the thing, is I don't really have a weight goal because I honestly don't know how much muscle I've built or lost in the last like 2.5 - 3 years since having my health issues, and then quarantine where there was no gym and all of that. So I do not have a specific weight in mind. It's more of just how I feel. I honestly feel like I'm already really close to where I want to be. Like I don't have that much to lose, obviously. I'm also using my old physique as my main like physique goal, because nothing's a better representation of what your body can be than what your body is. And I think trying to strive to look like someone else is very counterintuitive, because I don't have their proportions. Like I don't have their body type. I have my body type. And so the best I can be is the best version of me with my current body type. How do you lose weight and stay active without losing your period? I've had hypothalamic amenorrhea for 6 months. So one of the big goals of mine was to do this without causing an imbalance in hormones, because one of the things that I did this year, last year, 2020, wow, that was a while ago. I came off hormonal birth control after 6 years on it a little over a year ago. Took me a while to get my period back. I now have a super regular cycle. I don't really have any hormonal symptoms, no PMS, etc. But it took me a good couple months to get to the place where my body was super balanced and I had no symptoms. And one of the big goals of this weight loss journey was to make sure it stayed that way. I was not willing to sacrifice my health and hormone balance to lose a couple pounds of fat. I did recently make a whole video about how to maintain hormone balance while losing fat, so I'll leave a link to that down in the description box below. But the key is really to just be gentle with your body, go slowly. Don't try to crash diet, lose a ton of fat really quickly. That's not gonna be good for your hormones. Oh, another aesthetic question. Are you trying to add muscle and recomp, or just lose fat and preserve muscle? I'm very happy with the amount of muscle mass that I have on my body. I'm not trying to add muscle. So I've basically just been focusing on trying to maintain the muscle mass that I have and lose fat simultaneously. Okay, I just got an SOS text from the production manager, so I actually need to go do some work, but I'll finish up these questions in a minute. Okay, crisis averted. I want to go to the gym soon, so I'm having a tiny little snack, just some quite stale, grain-free kind of proteins. It's not protein cereal, but it has some amount of protein in it. I'm honestly just having it for the carbs, but I'm gonna snack on this, finish answering your questions. I think we pretty much covered my goals, so let's get into the process questions. First thing is my macros. I did go into my macros in a video, so I will link that down in the description box below. But basically I had maintenance macros, and then I had my deficit macros, and then I went into slightly different deficit macros, and then I took a 3-week break because I was working on set all the time. But you can see those macros here. Keep in mind, I am already a relatively small human. I am quite short, so these macros are much lower than they probably should be for like the average person. Someone wanted to know if I find higher carb to be more filling or leaving me hungry. And yes, while I'm eating a ton more carbs than I was before, I'm also eating a ton more protein than I was before. So I don't feel like I can make a fair comparison, because I'm eating probably like 50 more grams of protein a day, and that extremely satiating. Like, I was finding it hard to eat enough even in a deficit, because I was very, very satiated with that amount of protein. So even if the higher carb is making more hungry, I need it, or else I would just not be eating nearly enough. Do you meal prep? No, I personally hate meal prepping. That is what feels really restrictive to me. Like, that is where my mindset is not great. If I just have like pre-cooked meals and I can only eat that and I have to eat that, like, it does not work. What I do is batch cook. Gonna reference another recent video. I have a whole video on my go-to meals in a deficit. And so those things I will often cook like 4 servings of and just have it on hand, but it's not like I have to eat this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday kind of deal. And then I've been getting a lot of questions about whether or not I'm implementing my own advice of mini cut cycles, or like why I'm not doing mini cut cycles. And the thing is, I was only in a deficit for 5 weeks, which is within the cut cycle range anyway, before I started working on set and not tracking macros. And maybe I was in a deficit then, maybe I wasn't. I don't really know, but I did essentially take a break after 5 weeks in a deficit. Now, this was not intentional. My coach wasn't like, take a break after 5 weeks in a deficit. It just kind of worked out that way. Also, there is a lot more nuance to that discussion of mini cut cycles that would take an entire video to explain, so I won't get into that now, but I won't necessarily need one. It's gonna depend on how my body responds. What does your exercise/workout routine look like? Basically, I'm following my own program, Brains and Gains, just like kind of heavily modified with my own specific goals in mind. I'm following the 5-day-a-week split, which is an upper-lower split with 1 focus day, and that focus day is dedicated more towards like glute-focused stuff, so just a little extra volume on the glutes. But the last 3 weeks, since I haven't had a lot of time, I've just been doing 2 full body sessions a week, and they've been kind of on the weekends, so I've been going lighter on those because they're back to back, so I don't want to go like super heavy 2 days in a row on the same muscle groups. How do you calculate through fluctuations? I love this question, and I wanted to address it particularly because fluctuations are normal. Weight loss is not linear, and so if your weight goes back up, you don't necessarily need to immediately adjust things. Like, your weight should not linearly trend down. That just usually does not happen. That is very, very rare. A lot of people, if they start losing weight and their weight is trending down and then their weight goes up a little bit, they'll freak out, think that they have to change something, think that things are going wrong. This is not the case. That's just how weight loss works. And so you don't need to calculate through the fluctuations. You need to just trust the process through the fluctuations. Also, if you are a menstruating individual and your hormones are fluctuating throughout the month, your physique and your weight are going to naturally fluctuate throughout the month, even if you're eating at maintenance. All right, my arm is getting really tired. I'm moving back to my desk. For days you felt sick or didn't sleep enough, would you take unplanned rest days? So absolutely yes, I adjusted accordingly. Like, I am not on a strict timeline for this, so if something happens, if life happens, I'm gonna respond to that accordingly. When I was sick for basically almost a month straight during my maintenance phase, I was not working out while I was sick. I waited for my body to get better before I went back to the gym. I waited for my body to get better before I actively put myself in a deficit. Same thing with not enough sleep. Like, in the last 3 weeks, I've been super busy. I have not been getting enough sleep, so I've only been training twice a week. It would be absolutely ridiculous and ineffective for me to try to force myself to get more workouts in when I already don't have enough time to sleep. Like, yes, I would love to get to my goals as quickly as possible, but trying to get to my specific goal in like 6 weeks is just an arbitrary deadline that I would be setting for myself that doesn't account for life happening. It doesn't give me wiggle room. All it does is make me feel bad about myself if/when I don't hit that goal. So if you're struggling with that, free yourself of deadlines, just work towards your goal, know that you'll get there eventually, and just do it in a healthy, sustainable way. Okay, mindset questions. How do you get over the fear of regaining weight after you lose it? First things first, do it right in the first place. If you don't do it right, you are likely to regain the weight. That's why like 80% of people who lose weight gain it back. If you can, hire a coach. If not, follow the advice that I give in my videos. But the essentials are, take it slow and steady. Don't crash diet. Don't try to do things as fast as possible. Work your life changes into it like I've been doing. Don't set artificial deadlines for yourself that pressure you into doing things in ways that aren't necessarily optimal for your health. Prioritize your health. But also remember that fear of failure should not stop you from trying. Like, if you have a physique goal, being afraid that you won't be able to achieve it or maintain it and not going after it because of that is just gonna mean you're literally never gonna get there. Like, you have to try. So don't let fear of failure stop you from trying in anything in life, including weight loss. I have multiple other questions about kind of dealing with weight fluctuation throughout the process. One person said that they saw major progress then felt discouraged when some progress was seemingly lost. Someone else asked, did you ever hit a point where you saw no changes? If so, what did you do to help that? So again, I think it's really important to remember that weight loss is not linear. Going into it, before you even start, you need to accept that your weight may go back up after it goes down. Not necessarily back up to where it was before, but if it's going down, it goes back up a couple pounds and goes down more, goes back up a couple pounds, that's totally normal and to be expected. That said, I can totally identify with this because yes, for the first like 2 or 3 weeks, I saw 0 changes. My weight did not change at all. And so I emailed my coach. I was like, hey, I'm just gonna complain to you for a second, and I know this is dumb, but like, you're my coach and this is what I'm paying you for. I wish I were seeing changes. Like, I'm in this deficit. It's really frustrating to like be eating this way and not see any results, blah, 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 blah. I was like, sorry, I know this is annoying, thank you. And her response was basically what I'm telling all of you now, which is trust the process. If you're doing things right, things will go right. And literally that week, my weight dropped. So yes, I've experienced plateaus. What did I do about it? I did nothing. I trusted the process. How do you stay motivated? I think right now, actually, I am pretty motivated. Like I said, I'm super excited. I feel like I have a purpose in the gym. And it's not even necessarily the end result that is motivating me. It's more just like the process. I really enjoy it. But even when I don't have motivation, I have discipline. And that is what I recommend building, because motivation is useless because it comes and goes. If you rely only on motivation, it just becomes an excuse to not do anything. You can just be like, oh, I'm not motivated, so I'm not gonna do it. That's an excuse. And the workaround for that is having the discipline to do it anyway. I am back from the gym. On the way home, I stopped by Sweet Green to get a ginormous bowl of deliciousness. I am literally salivating. I got their protein pesto bowl, which I literally discovered like 3 days ago, and I'm obsessed. But I wanted more protein, so I added some blackened chicken, and I just added some cucumber and apple for a little crunch, and a little goat cheese just to spice things up a bit and get some more calories in, because all I had today was the smoothie, which I did end up tracking. And I had almost 800 calories just between the smoothie and the coffee, but I definitely needed more, so goat cheese.
The next day.
Good morning. Last night, I finished my salad, had more work to do, so I was just working, and I was like, I want to get a really good night's sleep, so I took some of my Ned's sleep, and my body was like, nah, you're not filming anymore tonight. You're going to bed. I could just like feel my body sink into like optimal sleep mode. I was like, I'm not wasting this. This is gonna feel amazing. I tell you, the Ned sleep blend is just, it's literally a game changer. It's mind-blowing. Like every time I recommend it to someone and they try it and they're like, wow, this worked. I'm like, I told you. It's amazing. I was already taking some supplements while in a calorie deficit just to like support my body, but since the last 3 weeks I was really pushing my body in maybe some not so great ways, like working for 22 hours straight. I threw in some extra supplements, just give my body some extra love. And one of the big things was just taking my like sleep quality promoting supplements on nights that I could, just to, even if I was only getting 6 hours of sleep, at least it would be like good quality 6 hours of sleep. And the Ned Sleep Blend is just like a staple in there. If you're having issues with sleep, like maybe you're getting 8 hours of sleep but you don't feel rested when you wake up, or you're waking up a lot in the middle of the night, or even if you're not waking up in the middle of the night but you can only sleep like 6 hours a night for whatever reason because you have a busy schedule or whatever, highly recommend the Ned Sleep Blend because it will just maximize your sleep quality with whatever time frame you have to actually sleep in. And getting enough sleep is so critical for health, physique goals, whether it be losing fat or building muscle. It's critical for performance goals. It's critical for sanity. It's critical for your blood sugar. Sleep, it's magical. And if you're not getting great quality sleep and you shift to implement things to get good quality sleep, you're just gonna be living an entirely different life, and it's gonna be amazing. So regardless of your goals, I recommend checking out the Ned Sleep Blend. I'll link to that down in the description box below. As always, you can use my code FITANDNERDY to get yourself 15% off. And speaking of Ned products, went and got myself a little coffee this morning. As I've told you guys before, I do like taking CBD or other like adrenal balancing supplements when I have caffeine, just because caffeine is not so great for the adrenals. So I'm actually gonna grab some Ned CBD, just like regular stuff, not the sleepy stuff. This stuff is also magical if you're just looking for like a general balancing tonic to just kind of help your body buffer against various stressors, from environmental to internal to nutritional to whatever stressors may be stressing out your body. You can also use my code FitNerdy to get 15% off of this regular CBD oil if you're curious about it. Again, link in description, check it out. Anyway, I did promise you guys a little body update in this video, so we're gonna do that now. So I've lost like 3 to 4 pounds on average. It's not like a drastic difference, and I'm not going for a drastic, sudden, quick difference, especially given the fact that I was only actively in a deficit for 5 weeks. So anyway, this is just an update. It's been a while since I've done one of these. I'm honestly kind of nervous to post this because it's been like a year and a half since I've done one of my like dancey body updates, but it wouldn't be a Marissa body update without it, so enjoy. That's what my body looks like in action, but here's what it looks like just static, side by side, completely relaxed, unposed, not flexed, etc. From the front, I think you can kind of tell that I do have more definition in my midsection. I think I look just like a smidge smaller. Honestly, I should be taking waist measurements, but I'm not because I don't really care enough to do that. I think from the side is where you can see the biggest difference. Again, both of these are completely relaxed, and you can see a big difference here in my midsection. When I gain weight, I tend to gain it in my arms and legs first, and then in my midsection. So when I lose it from my midsection first. So honestly, I don't think my arms or legs are looking much more defined right now, but my midsection's getting there. And then this is me from the back. I think given the difference in lighting and angle and stuff, it's kind of hard to see a distinct difference. But this is just what I'm looking like, so I wanted to show you. So that's what I'm looking like. Again, super stoked about it, honestly, especially given like how much I've had going on lately. If there's one thing that I wanted from this fat loss journey, it's that I wanted it to be like chill, like no stress, not worrying about rate of result. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Let me know if you guys have any questions, any comments, any concerns. If you want me to do a Q&A specifically on weight loss, not like my journey, but like weight loss in general, we can totally do that. Whatever you want, let me know. I'm here for you. In the meantime, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really does support me and my channel. I really genuinely appreciate it. Make sure to check out the link to Ned down in the description box below to get your hands on the highest quality CBD on the planet. Feel free to share this video with your friends, your family, and your neighbors. If you want to see more content from me all about health and fitness, you can check it out over here. To see future videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the little notification bell so you get notified when I post a video, and I will see you very soon. Bye.